Hagawa Santa, Hagawa Santa, Hagawa Santa,
Hey, James, who
Hagawa
you chatting for
Santa,
this time?
Hagawa Santa. I'm still trying to bring Manga Reader back to life, and this chicken you gave me isn't helping.
Chicken. What?
It's rubber.
Really?
Oh, you suck.
Steve, I thought you gave me the chicken and I gave it to James. I thought, wait. I don't know.
All I know is that Stevie gave me a chicken and says, "Here, use this. It'll work. It'll work on the ritual. It'll work much better than what you were using then." And no, now you tell me it's a rubber chicken?
Apparently it's not gonna work.
Sorry.
Ugh.
I thought I
Steve.
gave you a polyester one.
I've been doing this for a week. No wonder nothing is working. All right, fuck it. We'll get back to that later. So anyway, where was I? Oh, right. Okay. Hello everyone. James S. Cassidy here with time for another NaruSaku Fan Club podcast.
Woo!
Yay! And we're cutting down here, folks.
Yeah.
The final before the bomb hits.
Yes. 4 more weeks. 4 more weeks. 4 more. Wait, how is this a good thing?
It's a bittersweet thing.
Yeah. Double-edged sword. Best way to put it.
Yes. So, I'm joined here by Steve and Lucky G7 because they refuse to introduce themselves.
Basically.
Yeah. LK and I'm Jay Charleston and Steve here.
I
And
still
Lucky
can't say it.
No,
okay,
and you
M and
probably know.
JH.
Something like that.
LKMNGH Spartan 2456 ampersand at sign
You
sharp
guys are
sharp.
You guys are assholes.
What is your name?
You guys are
Mega
assholes.
Yeah, but you love us anyway, Steve.
Yeah.
That's true.
We may be assholes, but we're your assholes. Explains a lot. We're always talking shit.
It's true.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Alright, so shall we get started on this one?
Yep.
It's a very short
Yep.
chapter week. Wait, hold on. A third guest may actually come into this one.
Who could it be?
Who
Who could it be?
Who could it possibly be?
Hello.
It's good
Yay!
old BlueStar.
Mister,
Oh.
I want to start the podcast early, and then
Stop.
shows up 6 minutes late.
Sorry, but it's still better than 4 Life. You have to admit. Still better than 4.
That is kind of true. I gotta admit to that.
Hey. Don't talk shit when 4Life isn't here. It's always a lot more fun to talk shit when he is here.
Good point.
You'd still talk. Oh, please. Like, you wouldn't talk bad about him behind his back yourself.
I never talk bad about him.
Neither would I. Well, actually, I only talk bad about him when he's in front of me.
I always talk bad about him when he's in front of me.
Mhm.
If I could get him in here right now, I'll talk shit to his face right now. It's not a problem.
And there ain't nothing he can do.
Nope.
Not a
I thought
thing.
4 Life was supposed to be joining us today.
Huh?
I thought 4 Life was supposed to be joining us today.
Yeah, but he didn't get the memo of starting early, so he's not going to show up.
Oh, you didn't tell him?
I did tell him, he just never got the message.
Oh.
And as you forget, BlueStar, I'm always on standby.
Yeah.
Yes. And he gives me
So
crappy
what?
chickens.
What are you going to do when 4 Life shows up?
What if 4Life shows up? Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh well.
So chapter 695.
Naruto and Sasuke Part 2. Good God, now he's going on a Kubo route.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they aren't taking off their clothes and sweating their youthful blood together.
That's Fairy Tail.
That's Rock Lee. Alright, so we got the Clash!
First page.
Oh, by the way, BlueStar, we're reading from the manga stream translation.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Because of the weird translations this week, Manga Panda accidentally fucked up. Completely fucked up. So for the first time ever, we actually have to go with Manga Stream because for once in its life, it's actually the closest to the original.
Yeah.
Yep.
Surprising. It is.
Really. We have to go with the Manga Stream this one. So I'm sorry for all those that I'm not reading from the Manga Panda, but we have to go with this one.
Oh yeah.
Because manga stream as more accurate. Manga Panda just I'll get to the point where Manga Panda just messes up. So
Yep.
so they clash.
And then we see fan art.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then they jump back. And then
And-
Sasuke becomes a booger on the bottom of his fingers.
Yep.
So we get the Katon
Oh, wow.
Go
Really
Gokyaku Go no Jutsu, which is the fireball.
Yep.
But I'm guessing it's the sage powered fireball. I'm thinking.
Fire style giant fireball jutsu.
Yeah, we haven't seen that one in a while, have we?
Right.
You know, and then
Yeah.
we have Naruto transforming back into that form that he's fighting Kaguya with. So ha 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 ha! For life, they kept their powers.
Giant hand.
I told him, well, Sasuke kept his running gun, so maybe Naruto kept his power. Oh, well, maybe, tell me that maybe I could be wrong. But you know what? Screw you. This chapter proved me right for once.
Yep.
I thought you were usually right. Or was it only when you're right when it comes to NaruSaku and Sasuke being a jerk?
Well, I was wrong about the whole thing with the shadow clone. Well, I was half wrong. I'll put it that way, with the whole shadow clones and the bijou, the little black orbs. Because it's like, the clones can't make black orbs. That is true. But he could give the black orbs to his clones to form mistaken identity.
And he did that.
Yeah, which I still think is a cop-out thing, but whatever.
So Sasuke attacks from behind, and Naruto, sort of says our words out loud here. His left eye. It's still the Rinnegan.
His left eye. I think they got drops for that.
He was about to pierce Naruto through the heart. Gee, I wonder where I've seen this before.
Hmm.
And so but Naruto manages to dodge. Well, almost. As he's
Piccolo
still
would be
flying
proud.
Why didn't you dodge?
See a giant splash in the lake or river, whatever. the heck.
Waterfall. River.
What, did Naruto, sploosh into the river? I don't know why, I just like the idea of, someone falling in the water, go, skabloosh.
Jiraiya?
Oh, too soon. Actually, no, it's not.
Eh,
Too low, man, too low.
So Naruto throws.
His balls.
Yeah. As Sasuke throws his arrows from his Susanoo.
And
And
then
they clash in midair.
The balls are inert.
Which I'm pretty sure people hate. Apparently people hate explosions in Naruto. Or something like that.
surprising.
Naruto, presented to you by Michael Bay.
So yeah,
I just have
together-
one question for you. Explosions?
Explosion.
As long as it's not like Transformers 4, I'll be fine.
Transformers.
I liked the first half of that movie, but the second half kind of went a bit too long.
Yeah, I like the first two in the series.
Yeah,
I like the first half of the series. The second half.
it's a piece of shit.
We want Michael Bay. We wanted more robots and less humans.
I wanted more,
What
sex on a Transformer car. I wanted more of that. That was hot.
Still
Anyway.
messed up.
Anyway, so Sasuke attacks with his, I guess, perfect Susanoo or whatever. Susanoo.
Right on the spot too.
Final Susanoo, I believe it is called.
Yep. And then Naruto goes Kurama Biju mode.
I expected Naruto to go that mode that Ashura did. You know, the one with his 4 arms.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, I think.
Yeah. Well, maybe he only has 2 arms because he only has half the Kurama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then again, plus, just to note, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen Naruto go into this state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder why I didn't go against Kaguya.
Because that would have made the story even much shorter.
Right?
Ah. Personally, that whole stuff with Kaguya was perhaps a bit too quick.
So Naruto and Sasuke clash, and lo and behold, water explodes all around them.
Wait. Hold on. You asking why Naruto didn't use this form against Kaguya?
Yeah.
Why didn't Sasuke use any of these powers against Kaguya?
Right?
Like, just all of a sudden, right after the Kaguya fight, I finally mastered my Rinnegan.
Like,
Oh, now you master it?
I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, so Kaguya, you're like, okay. It's like, okay, you're gonna get pulled into the sand dimension. Okay, here. What? How much time spent by when you were training? Were you training in there or
You're gonna
something?
plug your holes with meteors. That sounded completely wrong. I apologize for that one. I am so sorry. Anyway.
Naruto blocks Sasuke's sword with nails.
Yeah, and sploosh, explosions, water everywhere, this, that, extreme action! And the statues are still standing.
Me of the final battle between Fire Lord Ozai and Avatar Aang, really, in some sense.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Is Naruto gonna take away Sasuke's powers? That would be fun.
That'd be cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I doubt that's gonna happen.
Bloodbending.
We've seen the movie. We've seen the teasers for the movie and all that.
And we see tidal waves.
Yeah, we'll get
They
to
fist
that part.
And the fist bump! Nice!
Yes.
Not a fist bump, though, because
They're punching each other.
they're punching each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the most awkward stances I have ever seen.
Really?
Yep.
They're that bad?
Yep.
I guess it must be pretty hard, I know, to draw two people doing punches into each other or something like that. And try to get a good angle of some sort.
That or Kishi's just trying to be symbolic with with how he had it the fight in part 1, which kind of has that notion to it.
This is where the battle should have been the most interesting. Like, after this, they block hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war. I'm gonna get you, Sasuke. No, you wait.
And we get to the bit where most fans usually want to sort of kill Kishimoto for some reason.
Flashbacks.
Yes.
But
Well,
then
Well, at least these flashbacks.
It's work of genius when it's
yeah.
Naruto. It's just awful.
At least these flashbacks don't interrupt the narrative so much. All it is just Naruto's on the swing, Sasuke's laying on his floor in the house, wherever he is. Naruto gets off the swing, Sasuke gets up, and we see some dusty dishes,
Yes.
and cue the dramatic wind. Yeah, how is there wind in the house? We don't know.
And then
But then again,
Kishimoto loses his mind and flips the pictures around.
but then again, you signed up for this. You knew when Naruto and Sasuke fought again, there was going to be some flashbacks. So you saw this coming. It's nothing new.
And still no bench scene. I mean, we covered pretty much everything 3 or 4 times, but the bench scene is like the one scene that we never got back to.
I'm just hoping that we at least see Sakura wake up from this Genjutsu and punch Sasuke before this manga's over.
Yes.
I'm going to say either 696 or 697. One of those two. That's my best guess.
Superman punched the bitch.
Yeah.
Come on, give us that. Do not have. Well, this is probably for a later discussion with the chapter, but anyway, I'll talk about that later. Yeah. Anyway, we have the bit, I think, whether two are smiling or like her head.
The tangent on this one, but I've actually asked people, like, what's worse, having a loving family and then losing it to your brother killing them, or having nobody at all and being alone? Like, what's the worst kind of loneliness, right? And people are like, oh, it's Naruto. Naruto's the worst. No, Sasuke's the worst. No, this is the worst. No, that's the worst. Where do I come in? I'd rather go with option 3 being the worst, where you're alone because your family wants to kill you, literally. And then I post a picture of Gaara. You know?
Gaara's probably has the most tragic of the backstory. He's with the fruit.
You can't tell me that Gaara hasn't had the worst of it. You know? This is a mental image of him going up to Naruto and Sasuke, just bitch slapping both of them, being like, "Shut up, will you? Shut up!"
Yeah.
Okay.
You still chose to befriend Naruto.
Yeah.
Naruto, either suck Sasuke's dick or go to soccer already. Sasuke, grow a fucking pair.
Okay, can we get back to after the two are smiling at each other, it goes back to the fight.
I don't want to get to the bromance. We've seen
Yes,
so much of this.
Yes, as we come onto the next page where we revisit the scene for what, third time? Third time. Where Naruto is walking along the edge, it's sunset, Sasuke's out on a dock, he's looking out towards the horizon, they look at each other, they put scowls, they look away,
Then
Naruto looks back, and then they smile. Well, Naruto smiles more than Sasuke, but they still smile.
And then we see the clash.
Yes, and
as
Sasuke's
that.
like,
More flashbacks. You've always been alone and by yourself ever since the beginning. How could you possibly understand anything about me?
yeah, how could we?
Having bonds is
And
what
it's funny.
truly...
It's funny because the panel after next, which we'll get to as soon as this part gets.
Having bonds is what is truly painful. Someone like you could never know what it's like to lose those. And Naruto gets a bit of flash.
Oh, really, Sasuke? So Jiraiya doesn't count?
Really now, Sasuke? Really?
Well, to be fair, this was before Jiraiya died. Remember.
Or, according to that gravestone, Nagato?
How about Neji? Anybody remember Neji?
I still remember Neji. In fact, I'm still missing him. I would like to see more Neji. But that can only happen if there's
Come
going
back
to be...
to us, Neji.
No, I mean, actually, no.
let me just shut up while I just say this. I would be more than welcome for some quick special chapters focusing on Neji and his bonds between Team Guy and Hinata. I would be all down for that.
A little side note, although I could be wrong about the grave, it being Nagato, I could be Jiraiya.
I think it's Jiraiya.
Yeah, it probably is.
You've got the gutsy ninja book in there too.
Yeah, it's Jiraiya's grave. It's Jiraiya's grave.
Because, I mean, there's the paper flowers, but then there's the book, and...
Right. That should have been obvious in the first step, anyway.
Yeah.
So, now we get back to the actual fight.
Where they go like...
And then we cut back to a few minutes ago. I am
Hello,
alone.
Back.
I am alone. Now I am able to bear all that hatred by myself. Here I will cut away the faults and errors of the past and start everything anew. And I'll start by cutting you down.
Is there more flashback?
Didn't we just learn this last chapter?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why I said we cut back to a few minutes ago.
Well, just be glad it's just 2 panels. Be glad it's just 2 panels.
Is there more? Is there more? Is there more? Good, there isn't more.
The water seems to be over-flooding the statues of Hashirama and Madara. And
Let them crumble to the ground.
And then Sasuke goes like, "What's wrong? Are you just gonna stay on the defensives?
What?
If you,
They aren't fighting a fool. Wow, hello.
even if you can't take the initiative, you'll eventually die." And Naruto goes like, "I don't want to kill you." And then Sasuke stares silently and he says, "You who is just planning to become all alone again." So and then sort of image of a flashback, well, sort of actual scene and flashback. He goes like, "To me, you are the closest friend I ever had," thing. And Naruto says, "I can't let that happen." And Sasuke stares. He sort of does something with Susanoo.
He looks so sexy when he's angry.
Oh, Naruto?
No, that's what Sasuke is saying to Naruto. And that's what he's thinking about Naruto. It's like, oh man, so hot when he's angry.
Then we see Sasuke, Susanoo doing
If I recall, James, I think they're kind of disgusted at the idea of them getting sexually active, given the fact that when Naruto sort of cried in front of the 4th Mizukage, when he was reminded of the Sasuke kiss, he puked.
Thanks for ruining the joke. Anyway, the Sasuke
That's my
Susanoo...
Here lies James S. Cassidy's awesome joke. Shot down in its prime by BlueStar Saber. You will be missed.
The killer of
On the
jokes.
grave is a quote. Knock, knock.
Anyway.
So yeah, Sasuke Susanoo charges up Chidori here, and Naruto leaps up as he continues on, especially because we both know all too well what that's like. So knowing that you're planning to go back on that.
And we
And
see
he fires up a Biju bomb.
Suck my balls.
and then Naruto. I think this is from Naruto, but he just says, "There's just no way I could turn my back on you." And then we get the clash.
Yes. And Sasuke is so happy because he's finally cupping Naruto's balls.
And then, big
Squeeze,
surprise.
squeeze. They are ripe.
I just have a quick question, James. Are you sure you're not a NaruSaku fan in this
Are
guy?
you sure you aren't?
I'll talk about that later.
And so, yeah, big surprise, big explosion.
Big explosion. Big success.
Anyway.
It actually looks cool, though.
Then there's more
Yeah,
of
it
a
does.
water covering Hashiyama. I don't know, it looks like the statues might be destroyed, who knows. Then there goes to this sort of imagery thing, and he goes like, you don't need to shout out loud, we're no longer the same people we were when we fought a long time ago. Your thoughtless feelings, I know them all. And you know mine as well, don't you, Naruto? He's reached him. He knows, and yet still.
What is
And
this
that
big
ends this
dude?
week's chapter.
Then we have a fan art of Naruto crying in front of Minato.
Oh,
And then we have a fan art of the Team 7 moments of when they landed their blows on Kaguya. My favorite panel of the team.
yeah.
Then we have a thanks for reading. And then we have the greatest mangas out. Fairy Tail 404 and Attack on Titan 62.
One more left.
Regarding Attack on Titan, if you guys haven't read it yet, then
It's a
Why?
big fat lady. Take a shot of Jaeger.
my lips are.
Titan sucking.
I'm just gonna say that right now. My lips are sealed regarding Attack on Titan.
Wait, is Attack on Titan sort of going bad at the moment or something?
No, it's what happened in the chapter. It's gonna like mind fuck you. Let's just say that.
Is it Mikasa and Eren?
Nope.
Then I don't want to read it. I don't give a fuck.
Do you
Unless they're having sex on panel, I don't care.
Okay. Let's just say it has something to do with Eren's dad. That's as far as I'll go.
Okay.
That's it.
He's a Titan too?
Nope.
Let's stop pandering in case Attack on Titan fans watching this podcast and they get mad that we spoiled.
I don't care. They don't care.
But so
I'm still waiting for my High School Dead chapters, but
I think that manga's been cancelled, James.
then you got the Hunter x Hunter fans being like, "We haven't even hit 350 yet. He's on break." I'm like, Dragon Quest maybe. I don't know if that's true or not.
it was updated like months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this week's chapter pretty much straightforward.
A lot of action, which is good.
Yep.
But
So-
go on.
Makes me wonder if the next chapter or so is going to be dialogue full.
That's a good question. I think, and I was gonna say this earlier, but I think we might get like maybe half of it dialogue, and maybe the other half's like the fight. Maybe, because people are saying like maybe the fight's ending now. Maybe I don't know.
I think we're
I
gonna
wanna
get
say
half
we
and
might
half.
Get, like at least maybe 2 more chapters of the fight, and that's it.
I think next chapter's gonna be a half and half.
Yeah, we'll get half and half.
I think we're gonna have basically Sasuke and Naruto clashing one more time, like emphasizing that the fight's still going on, and then we cut back to Kakashi and Sakura, and he sees Sakura, whatever she's going in her mind. That's what I want to happen.
Yeah.
That's what I want to happen. That's what I'm hoping happens. Is that gonna happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that Sakura at least does something against Sasuke, at least the manga. I know that it seems from what it looks of it, the series will continue with this new opening project with movies, but at least in the manga, I want to see at least one more punch, because I don't really hate 693, but that has given people some bad impression of Sakura. Well, they've always had a bad impression of Sakura, but this seems to make it even worse.
And we thoroughly discussed that.
Yeah.
We do not need to comment. We are moving on.
And you see me over a cliff.
It's anti-everything. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
What? Anti-no Sakura, anti-no Hina, anti-no...
That chapter we all lost.
It's true. It's true. I'm not gonna lie about that. We did all lose on that one.
I don't know. I'm trying to find this review to show you about this one guy who I just want to slap.
The only thing I can say to the fan base is watch. I'm just waiting for the bench scene. That's it. Just need that and then something. I don't know.
Apparently about how Sakura was boring and, unlikable and all that stuff.
The bench scene. I'm gonna laugh if Kakashi explains it to her, like, that was actually Naruto disguised as Sasuke, right?
How would he know
Just
that,
some
though?
sort of... Yeah, that's what I would ask. If Kakashi, of all people, explains that to her.
Maybe he was there during the scene.
Maybe he was the one that found Sasuke tied up. Dear diary, jackpot.
Oh, by the way, if any of you are curious, we have 29 days, 14 hours, and 56 minutes left until the final countdown of Naruto.
It's the final countdown.
Oh no, I'm just reblogging this post that I found about it.
Huh.
I hope you're not gonna do a Helga, are you? Hey Arnold, 23 hours, 20 minutes, and 19 seconds until you die.
Okay, I just saw a spoiler of some sort of a show I watched, which I did not expect to see happening. Sorry, I'm just still on Tumblr.
What?
What?
I'm on Tumblr, and I just saw the most weirdest post ever. Oh.
Well, are you gonna explain it?
I'll just link it. I'll just link it as soon as I reblog it.
Well, fine. Then we'll start discussing the movie.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Help that out.
So,
regarding
the movie, there's been, shall we say, a lot of controversy?
Let's just say we
Unnecessary.
When is there not?
It's a fucking scarf!
Unnecessary controversy, but controversy nevertheless, because people like being people.
Do you understand that the Japanese fan bases are laughing at you?
Right?
Right.
They are laughing at you!
I mean, I'm just going to say this right now. The scarf is probably just irrelevant. If someone gave it to them, it could have been Konohamaru. It's just a scarf.
Well, where should we start on this one? Okay.
I quite actually like this scarf. It looks pretty cool on him.
Yeah, we're really Shinobi, right? Shinobi's back! I always remember that game. Okay, so we're going to start from the beginning on this one, since there's a lot to explain. We got, with this chapter, we got a new advertisement for Naruto the movie. We also got sort of a plot detail a little bit. We also got in colored Naruto and Sakura sketches.
Yeah.
On the poster, we have Naruto, who's, dressed in a red scarf. We have Kakashi, Sai, Hinata, Sakura, Sasuke,
Shikamaru.
and Shikamaru. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a brain fart there. So now, obviously, I can't believe we're gonna have to explain this one. People all of a sudden started this whole shenanigans about the red scarf being the red scarf of destiny or the red thread of fate because apparently it's contacting Hinata's picture, not knowing that it's also contacting Sakura's picture.
Yeah.
Right.
And even more stuff because we got this other poster where now they're lined up horizontally, and the scarf ends at Hinata's picture, and on the right it says the last story. In Japanese it says the last story of the first love. Now when it says the first love, it doesn't mean the first thing you ever fall in love with. It's not one person their first love that they fell in love with. When they mean by the first love, it means this is the first time that the subject of love is going to be a topic.
Yeah.
Right.
That's according to the translators that I've seen. Rikudo, right?
I think so.
Rikudo explained this one.
Yeah.
Is he one of the ones that's still positive about this manga or still negative?
I think he's more fed up with the fan base than he is with the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of me. Personally, I'm fine with the manga, well, except for the pacing, because the pacing has been bad for the past few years, but the fandom is just what destroys this manga, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a picture. We actually got a picture of Hinata this time, and unlike everybody else in the picture that's facing towards the camera with this face of determination, she's looking over to the left, her left, and looking like she just got the worst breakup letter in her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the theories are countless. The top 3 theories I've seen so far. First one, she's looking all depressed because she's worried about Naruto going on a journey, so she made him a scarf to protect him.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And to that I say, what?
Second theory, she's going through pregnancy pains. I am not kidding.
And to that I say,
I think the only way they're ever going to shut up is if we see Naruto and Sakura kiss, where they won't shut up, but they'll stop making these stupid theories about Hinata being pregnant.
Third theory, after seeing this, you remember that sketch?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Remember that sketch of what we call the pregnant woman? Wearing that weird outfit, long hair, having this towel thing around her, and they all thought she was pregnant, like she was grabbing her stomach. Then we found out later that it actually wasn't. She wasn't pregnant. It was just she was holding a towel.
Yeah.
Now they're saying that actually is Hinata now, but it's her giving Naruto the scarf.
Okay. Okay, I'm fine with people doing headcanons and all, but come on, do not say it's actual fact.
No.
And to that I say, fuck. What the fuck? What in the ever-living
comment
fuck?
on that. I've just got nothing.
What kind of backwards retard logic is this? Really?
Insane troll logic.
Yep.
And I had to explain to some of these people. I go, if you look at the sketch of Hinata, the actual color thing in the advertisements, you look at her outfit, it is nothing close to what the other character, this other character in the sketches were. We don't even know if that's a female. It could be male. Oh, well, it looks feminine. Yeah, so was Haku.
It's true.
Yep.
You know? It could be Kurenai. It could be anything. It looks like a towel. It doesn't look like a scarf. Okay? Compare the size of the scarf, how thick that scarf is, compared to what this woman is holding. It's a long, narrow scarf. This looks like a short, fat towel.
Now, wonder, do you think any Fairy Tail fans have become outraged that Naruto's doing the significant scarf thing?
Not that I know of. I mean, one person was telling me about it. They were like, hey, all they said was it looked cool. That's what I got right.
Because apparently, when other mangas do something similar to other mangas, the fans get more outraged at that. Especially when it came to that whole fruit thing that Kage ate. One Piece fans were just going ballistic.
That I remember too. They were like, a fruit? Wait a second.
I remember at least Code Provider being one of them. You guys never heard of that guy, have you?
Mm-hmm.
One Piece fanboy seems to really hate Naruto. At least that's my impression.
All right. We don't care, but all right.
Mm-hmm. But that might be a bad idea, because I think he usually attacks anyone that calls him out. So that part might need to be edited out. Who knows?
So in short, we have our insane troll logic here. The scarf is around Naruto. The scarf extends to his left. The scarf extends between Sakura and Hinata. And in the next poster, the scarf extends towards Hinata. Therefore, Naruto must have ended up with Hinata.
I mean, if it
Hold on.
really could happen, like the scarf could have extended to Sasuke of all people.
Hold
it
on.
could have.
Hold on.
Yeah? LJ? I thought you weren't doing this anymore, James. James, please tell me you're not bashing your head on the wall. I thought you said you would pass this now.
I'm not bashing my head against the wall.
Then what are you bashing?
I'm bashing my head against the door.
That's still as bad, my friend.
Do I lie? I've...
Oh, good God.
I have no words. I have no words anymore. I hate to say this. I really do. But I'm kind of getting fed up with the NaruSaku fanbase now.
I've been fed up with them about a year ago.
I really am.
Yeah. I am too,
If
actually.
something NaruSaku happens related, we're supposed to blow it off like nothing happened. But as one little, not even credible hint of Narihina comes along, and everybody fucking loses their minds.
Personally, I think they just want to justify their delusionness in Naruto, personally.
Yeah.
Do you people not understand the kind of ass pulls it would take to make Sasusaku and Narihina canon at this point in time?
Mm-hmm.
You would have to destroy Sasuke's character as he is. You have to destroy Naruto's character as he is.
Mm-hmm. I thought you said every character was destroyed by Sasuke.
Well, no.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
Naruto's character gets destroyed on the basic level. Like, everything he stood for, never giving up, never taking the easy route, never giving in when everything seems hopeless. Now, all of a sudden, he's just going to give in and be with Hinata?
Uh-huh.
And then Sasuke, I don't need anybody, I'm a loner, I don't give a shit about anybody, but all of a sudden, he's just going to become good again, apologize to everybody, and then fall madly in love with Sakura right off the bat, with 4 chapters to go.
Yep.
Come on. If anything, I don't even think he's going to get... I do think him and Karin are going to get it together at some point. It's just no way they're getting together at the end of this manga. I don't think they're going to get together at the end of this manga. In fact, they might do it in some sort of movie.
I don't even see Sasuke and Sasuke's hand getting together at the end of this manga. If you get my drift.
You are dirty-minded, my friend.
No, I just know that Sasuke is the most asexual character in this show. I think he even beats out Sai. At least Sai tries.
Yeah.
Sasuke doesn't even care.
I'm hoping that we get more Sai in these new Naruto movies later.
I hope so, too.
Sorry, go on, James. You're on a rant. You're on a roll, and I seem to have interrupted.
I'm pretty much done.
Didn't you say like that about 20 podcasts ago or something? I don't know. You just seem to be fed up with everything about. I don't know. Something new.
It's not even with the manga anymore. It's the fan bases. You fan bases are pissing me off. NaruSaku fans, Narihina fans, Sasusaku fans. You all are pissing me off with this backwards logic, double standard, all this crap. You blow everything out of proportion. You freak out about everything. The Japanese fan base are laughing at you. Do you hear me? The Japanese fan base are laughing at you.
I'm ashamed that they're laughing at us. Come on. At this point, they all accuse Obito of being unsympathetic. Well, all fan bases here in the West are unsympathetic. In fact, they're perhaps even worse with Obito when it comes to his bullshit talking. or any Uchiha.
Yeah. And Narahina fans, you are by far the worst. You are absolutely the worst. I mean, I've seen some bad people in my time, but you, Narahina fans, okay, you worship a girl who is shy, cute, sweet, and all she wants to do is better herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but she fails at it.
Actually, I think the one thing I don't understand is why they act so violent, loud, and completely unlike Hinata.
Exactly. Meanwhile, on the forums, Hinata's such a sweet and caring and kind girl. Well, your fan base is a bunch of satanic, brutal psychopaths.
I think Hinata would probably feel disgusted.
Apparently you want Hinata, a character who's sweet, kind girl, to just rip Sakura a new one? To just put her hands into her chest and rip her apart piece by piece?
Dude, I think if Hinata ever met a fan base, even she won't be nice to them. I don't think even she would be nice to them.
If I was Hinata, I'd be horrified.
Mm-hmm.
I would hate my fan base. I don't want you guys near me. You scare me.
It's kind of like with the recent Simpsons guy episode where Bart sees Stewie's twisted torture methods and he says, "Dude, I don't want anything to do with you." If any of you have seen that Simpsons guy crossover.
I took a poo.
Even because there was this one particular scene that caused controversy where they do, Bart does the pranks to Moe, and then Stewie gave a try. And he did this really controversial tone, and he says, "Hello, Moe, your sister's being raped." And he goes like, "So how's that?" And Bart was just staring, shocked by what Stewie said.
Well, that's just Seth MacFarlane humor.
Yeah, but it works for Family Guy, of course, but not Simpsons. But hey, I'm not that into that debate. Anyway, this is just one post I found that the Narahina fan base has been doing. I'm just sending the links.
Do we have to read this?
No, just take a quick look at it. Just take a quick look. Well, it's pretty much an attack on chat, but hey.
What can I say? This bitch is on bath salts. More like she's like a salty bath. Well, what did you expect from a NaruSaku retarded ass bitch? Says the motherfuckers that are pissed off by words of a fan.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? This is the kind of hypocrisy that I cannot stand anymore. You sit here and be like, "Oh, she's so salty and so mad because NaruSaku is going to happen." Meanwhile, you Narahina fans are taking offense to a NaruSaku fan and going so low to insult them. You guys are the scum. You understand you're part of the problem, not part of the solution? Do you people understand that?
I don't even
I don't care if I get hate mail for days on this one. Narahina fans, I met some of you that I know are really good. So I know there are some of you that are respectable. This is not about you, okay?
Yeah.
You guys are in a completely different group. But all the rest of you people are not even dignified to be called trash. Rednecks who have sex with their cousins are higher class than you.
Well, technically in Japan that's kind of okay, isn't it? I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. In Japan and Asia, that's kind of okay for them or something? Sex with cousins?
Well, we're not talking about the Japan fan base because the Japan fan base doesn't give a shit about Narahina.
Nope.
This is where everywhere else.
They give a damn about Neji Hina, I think. Sorry, I just have to. Sorry, I'm being stupid now, aren't I?
I mean, I may be pissed off at chat, but you know what? I'd still stand by her.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still stick up for her. So you know
Who's
what?
chat?
Fuck you.
Oh my
Lisa.
god, dude! Did you just? Oh wait, no, that's the joke.
Shall I kill it? Shall I kill his joke like he killed mine?
Sorry. Wait, you mean chat? Sorry, my bad. My bad. Sorry, chat. Sorry.
CHATTE. It's pronounced chat. Some people
Sorry,
like to say chatte or.
Sorry, okay? I'm not used to saying words. Some of the words people
All right,
post
calm
on-
down. I'm turning into have a Snickers. You turn to a Narahina fan when you're hungry.
Don't, please, don't. That's just, I'm, okay, you've got me there. Just, please.
Anyway, though.
I love you, BlueStar. We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for that one guy in the comments, he don't like you.
Wait, there's one guy that doesn't like me?
Apparently.
Yeah, so someone put a comment in one of the videos saying that you're annoying and you ruined the whole podcast, but you know. Oh, here we go. I should have
no.
said something.
Okay,
Everyone duck.
my feelings are hurt.
Oh, you want a hug?
That would be nice.
I've got
Aw,
the Oreos.
hugging. We all love you here, BlueStar. No one will judge you here except for me because I'm trying to be funny. You're my annoying person that ruins the podcast. I love you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. He doesn't ruin the podcast.
Nope.
No one has ruined the podcast. Just people have their different taste in things. Whatever. They have their opinions.
I must say, I might have got over a bit when I get a bit angry when it comes to my arguments
Yeah.
before that,
Mhm.
which was kind of weird because before we never argued at all.
Yeah. We should have stickers on hand.
Possibly due to the fact that he takes forever, and I got pretty much fed up with it. No offense for life, sorry.
Oh, he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna watch this.
You mean listen to it?
Yeah,
Can't
this
exactly
is-
watch a podcast.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe this podcast is coming to an end. Can you guys believe it?
4 weeks now. Yeah.
I'm
Why
still,
should we make it this?
I'm still not even. Oh, sorry. You go, Lucky Cheese. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
How did you guys react to the news initially when it came out?
I was in a deep depression. I said, no, this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. It's too soon. It's too soon. No. It pretty much, whatever I was organized to try and do today was completely destroyed by this announcement. I just could not do it. I just could not do anything. I just could not. I was like, no. It was pretty much the most depressed thing. I was going like, why, Mr. Kishimoto, why? I mean, you know me. Despite what people say about what they don't like, Obito, Kaguya, Madara, even Sasuke, I defend it to an extent. I like the concepts. It's not completely bad as they say, blah, blah, blah. I know there's some bits I don't like myself, but I'm okay with it. It's not the worst thing ever. I mean, there has been lots of bad stuff like this that's happened in a lot of shonen mangas, but, well, as far as I know, I've only read like 4 or 5, but hey. But
No Naruto and no NaruSaku make BlueStar something.
and I was like,
Go
no,
crazy.
why this? Why this?
Don't mind if I do.
What about you, Steve? What were you like?
What was I like? I was happy. I was happy and then I went confused.
You're like,
It's finally finishing. We finally reached an ending, and Narahina Sasusaku is not canon. It's never gonna happen. And then I took a second thought and I was like, wait a minute. Wait.
the fight's just starting.
How are we gonna solve all the problems in the world in less than 5 chapters?
Right?
I believe Chate sort of answered that in her latest blog post, if any of you read it.
And and BlueStar just contributed to the list of people who pronounced Chat's name wrong. Anyway, my reaction. I thought, well, that's abrupt. 5 weeks? That's really abrupt.
It felt
And then I thought, well, maybe this is how the Dragon Ball manga fans felt, back in Japan when it was still printing. This is how they must have felt when Toriyama said, "Okay, here's when the last chapter's coming out. Expect it."
Okay, with me, it was kind of different, because before I heard the news, I was just listening to the very first Naruto opening, just for nostalgia feel. I checked the forums, and it comes up, and I read the article, and I'm just like, shit. And then plus the music in the background too, and my initial thought was, okay, 5 chapters, okay, it's not a big deal. But then I did what James did, was like take a few steps back and like, hold on, wait, the fight just started. How are I just had mixed emotions. So after that, I was like, you know what? I just gotta let it out through YouTube. Just talk it out.
This was the one decision I actually did not want Mr. Kishimoto to do. This is the one thing I actually had issues with.
I mean, I kind of had a feeling it was ending, but I was like, maybe volume 74 might be where we end everything off. But I was like, 72? Wow.
Then I started busted out laughing. Because the same people who were like, this is going on for too long, are all of a sudden now saying, that's it? This is way too short. I was like,
but hey, they probably would have complained if it was too long as well. But for me, I was never complaining about the pace. Well, to some extent,
No,
I did. But
I wasn't either.
Not me. I never complained.
sure,
11 years.
everybody says that now. Oh, I was never complaining about the pacing of the manga. Bullshit.
I never complained about it being over long. I was fine with being over long. Face it, it's gone over like, it went over like 500 chapters. You know this is going to be a long manga if it goes over 500 chapters.
Meanwhile,
My main issue with pacing is only when it went too long. The only time when I got annoyed when it went too long was with the whole Obito-Jubi fight. The other times I got annoyed when things happened too quickly.
You know what fight was pointless? And James, you've mentioned this.
Yep.
The
Over
Hanzo
150
Salamander fight.
the Mifune Hanzo fight.
Personally, I would personally find the only reason to have this fight is if he was going to kill off the Mufin guy later to try and make a sort of impact or something. That would have made sense to me.
But you didn't.
No, look. That's the thing. That's the argument I keep making. I'm like, look, Mifune versus Hanzo should not have happened. I mean, look, because I was rereading it earlier, and it interrupts the fight between Asuma and Shikamaru, and Choji. I'm like, you should have focused the whole. Ugh.
I'm okay with them doing like a quick skirmish. I will admit, I did find the interesting about what happened to the samurai being replaced by ninjas interesting, but this is not the time, man. We could have done this back in the Land of Iron.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, he could have. I mean, Mifune could have made a quick mention, like, yeah. I mean, it's.
I'm fine with like the commanders getting some screen time, but I think there should have been like the 2nd Division commander popping up now and then, just like either fighting or kicking a little butt like he was doing.
Or
And
hell,
that was,
yeah, go ahead.
or being support. I mean, characters that we hardly knew just doing one moves and just one shots, while the characters we did know getting the big fights instead of the other way around. I mean, well, sometimes they did get some of the characters we did know did get decent screen time, like Kankuro, Sai, Kakashi, Guy, Gaara. I think Gaara was one of the best of this arc, and Team 10. And, of course, Naruto and Killer Bee. But some of the others, I think we should have gotten more screen time alone. We should have, like, got something with Sakura besides the fake knocking out the fake Neji. I think she should at least fought one Edo Tensei. Perhaps we should have gotten more. We should have probably seen more of Rock Lee. We probably should have seen more of Neji and Hinata and the whole Hugo thing teaming up together, possibly even against the father. And to an extent, I guess we should have seen more of Kiba and Shino, but I'm not sure against who, but maybe just showing off new jutsu and moves.
You know what I found more interesting than the Hanzo and Mifune fight?
Which one?
Madara fighting drunken Rock Lee. That would have been amazing.
That would be hilarious.
And like Madara can't hit him, he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, haha, I was only pretending to sleep.
Actually, wait, no. Actually, that would be cool too, but I will... See, here's my thing. Rereading this whole war from the beginning, I was like, alright, Sakura and Chio should have fought. Kimimaru and Jugo, to some extent. But then I was like thinking, what if it was Lee versus...
Kimo. I think maybe Rock Lee should have fought Kimo.
Yeah, that's where I was going with. I felt like maybe it should have been Rock Lee versus Kimimaru. Drunk Fist Rock Lee times. Oh god. That was hilarious.
Like, I would have liked to see more of those 7 swordsmen, even if it was just like one panel of them getting beaten up. At least show them being beaten up.
I mean, hell, we even got freaking Suigetsu's brother coming back too.
Which I don't know how that hurt him.
Personally, it seems, well, from what I've seen, when Volume 57, that's the volume where Naruto finally enters the war, it seems he was told to speed up Naruto's return. It seems like he might have been forced to drop things that he was going to do in this war, but didn't happen. Which kind of frustrates me, because I would have liked to see some of the other possibilities that it was going to show us.
Explains why he fired his editor.
Wait, let's not forget, after Kakashi had to steal Zabuza and Haku, he was like, I'll show you my raid, and why they call me the copier of 1000 Jutsu. I'm like, I was actually looking forward to that.
Yeah, so was I, and then it gets dropped.
And we turn our heads away, we turn back around. Woo! That was a long battle. What did we miss?
Right?
What happened?
I do not like this when any manga does this. I do not like it when Bleach does it, even though it's kind of rare for Bleach to do it because they just show it nearly every fight. I don't like it when Fairy Tail does it, and I don't like it. Well, that's one of the main, and this is the main reason why I have issues with One Piece right now. I don't like it when they skip their fights. And I'm definitely not going to like it if Naruto skips fights. I'm just saying.
Yeah, meanwhile, the One Piece fans are looking at us like, be lucky that your manga's ending. We still have 600 more chapters. we got 15 more years of this shit.
Right?
It's supposed to end 2005, but by then Oda had created too much. And so he had to find some way to wrap it all up by creating even more.
I'm going to say this right now. One Piece will probably end at volume 300. Maybe.
I'm not entirely sure. I think sure someone can write up to 300 volumes. I'm not even sure someone can do that.
Well, I mean, if it took them 60 volumes just to get up to the time skip, then... yeah. That's just me.
No, we originally were talking about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. Let's go back to the movie.
Okay, so... we've also... I don't know how reliable this piece of news is, because I only just recently heard about this, but I have no clue where it comes from. Supposedly, the movie is actually not the ending, the real ending. The manga itself, the last chapter, apparently is the real ending, and the movie takes place before that.
That's not true. That you can tell that that's not true, really.
It's not?
Well, at least hold on, let me just... I do not think this is... let me just think straight. Let's see, hold on. Well, let's see, I'm trying to get the right words. Well, we can obviously see that Naruto and Sakura and all the others have aged, and unless the ending of the manga is an epilogue, I do not see the manga, that being the actual ending in the manga.
No.
I don't know.
And I mean, I actually stated this before the podcast started, but I had this image of just like Naruto just looking at like maybe some kind of sunset going on and the beach and whatever, and then you just have Naruto just there and then Sakura right beside him. Something like that. I have that weird image going on, and I'm getting the feeling that's not what's going to happen.
I don't know. I sort of feel 5 chapters. I sort of feel an epilogue coming.
I kind of feel cheated.
But that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, then there's also today's announcement too, on Anime News Network, when they said that there's a new project that's gonna hit on the day when the Naruto manga ended. Like, oh god, now what are they gonna have?
That Naruto 15th anniversary celebration thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's also that New Era opening project, which I think is going to be like...
I actually have the article up. It says like the the new project starts to coincide with the manga's end on November 10th. I'm like, okay.
Well, I think the New Era project's the sequel to the manga. It's gonna be like canon, but just different formatting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sometimes do that.
I mean, Kishi could always do with what's that manga called? The basketball one, the Kuroko basket. Because from what I heard, like the manga's done, but it's coming back as like a monthly or bi-monthly thing. So Kishi could go that route if he ever wanted to.
So we're gonna have like a Legend of what? Do people think we're gonna have like a Legend of Korra kind of thing?
Well, hold on, let me chat. I believe chat made the most sense in this one post that she did. Hold on, let me get. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, it takes a while to load this thing.
Well, while you're looking for that, I mean, recently we've been getting all these tweets.
Got it. Let's see.
Had to interrupt me.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Where should I begin? Should I start from the very beginning because she does long posts, or should I just go to the bit where he? Oh yes, he says, "Here's the bit. As we all know, Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball series was a big inspiration for Kishimoto's Naruto, as well as Toriyama himself was to Kishi, a person whom he looked at deep respect, and not only." As Kishimoto said himself around interviews, he viewed Toriyama as a role model. Now, I've always said in debates that I've been having around forum boards, and yes, Kishimoto's inspirations indeed Dragon Ball series, and he uses many story elements similar to that of Toriyama's. However, there are differences in the series plot itself. However, this time, what Kishi is doing is exactly what Toriyama did with the Dragon Ball series as well. While Toriyama stated many times he wanted to end the series, we know that the request was so big that the studio he worked with at the time pushed him into writing more. So from there on, he just wrote to have something to give them, and thus all the other stuff came, movies and such. Now the situation is a bit similar and a bit different at the same time with Kishimoto's work. The thing with Toriyama is that he voiced his opinion of not wanting to write the series after it ended, but giving the high request, oh well, we all know that part. Toriyama had it all sorted out by the manga's end. However, as we can see from Naruto, Kishimoto still had tons of other things to cover and many loose ends to tie up. So basically, Kishimoto's doing what Toriyama's experienced in his own way. But unlike Toriyama, Kishimoto will not have it all sorted out by the end of the manga. What he did here is basically took advantage of the situation and will make everyone happy. The series will go on in a way Naruto will still be alive for some years now. The Studio Parrot has ongoing work, and why not profit? My guess is the thing will go basically like this, given we have only 5 weeks to the manga's end. The end will be basically something like this. She's referring to that Naruto over when Naruto and Sasuke fight. And she goes, yes, you guessed it, my dears. The over 2011, where the first over appeared. Yada, 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 t-shirts. Years later, the last chapter. And that's when I got what Kishimoto was doing here. She's predicting that the over is going to be the similar ending to Naruto. And, as Sakura, comes down, seems like a dying Naruto. And, anyway, back to Bit. She goes, in my opinion, exactly like the over, and then the rest of the questions answered. The studio basically, here's a bit. Naruto will basically follow Dragon Ball's footsteps, but not in the same reasons. In Naruto, it happens so because Kishimoto doesn't have the space and time to finish the manga conclusively like he stated he will be doing. So he'll take a second best plan that he could follow. This way, like I said earlier, he'll make everyone happy. Himself, fans, Studio Parrot, of course. Why do I say the movies will be canonical, and why do I say movies in the first place? Well, as advertised in Naruto's New Era opening project, this project that deals with the continuation of the original series that follows towards the future. Not only this guarantees the fact that the movies will be canon, given it specifically mentions that it's a continuation of the original series, but also the fact they have advertised the last Naruto the movie as being the first movie from this project, which means only one thing. Kishi's going to be making a series of unknown number of movies, which he will, like he said, like himself stated, conclusively end the manga's story. Shall I stop? I'll stop there. But I'll just link the whole thing to you later.
What?
So
I'm sorry, I kind of spaced out in the center there. What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just probably did not read it all. I'm just gonna post you guys the link.
Or how about
Please.
summarize it? You know, pithy, short.
Okay. I believe she's saying that the new Naruto opening project will be like the sequel to Naruto. It'll be like what continues on the story. The manga is ending, but the story's continuing through movies or something like that. That's what I think she's
sort of like. I mean, this isn't exactly it, but one comparison I'm drawing here is sort of like the Marvel Universe movies, where they tell.
No, he's meaning like the story continues on through the movies instead of the manga, where the manga ends at a certain point, but you can keep going. The only problem with this is that the Dragon Ball Z movie that continued the story happened some years later.
Yeah.
Later.
I mean, like, what? It's been like 10 years since Dragon Ball Z ended? Something like that? 10,
Something
12
like that,
years? Yeah. You know, and now we just get a continuation of the story because Toriyama decided to pick it back up again or something. And this is like, we're immediately jumping into the movies now, where we're finishing the story through that. That's kind of like, that makes me doubtful whether the manga's going to have a satisfying ending or not. Well, you're just going to leave it open-ended now in the manga and saying, now you have to watch the movies, otherwise you're not going to get the story.
Hold on. I wasn't entirely paying attention. Can you just repeat that, please? Sorry.
Okay, so you know the Dragon Ball Z movies, like Chat said, where we had Battle of the Gods. We had
Battle of the Gods, but that's about it.
Right. Now, but the Battle of Gods movie came out years
after it ended.
After Dragon Ball Z ended with the ending that it got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we got this satisfying ending for Dragon Ball Z, and it was okay. I mean, yeah, you could continue it if you want to, but it's not a bad stopping point. Here, because we're automatically going into the movieverse to continue this story later on down the road, it makes me question whether this manga is going to have a satisfying ending, the manga itself. Because now it kind of, on the surface, I don't know what it's actually going to be like, but on the surface, on paper, it kind of sounds like, so now you just can't go by you have to watch the movie now, which means that by the time the manga, we have to wait months down the road for us to get the real ending to the manga or to the story. We just can't go on the manga itself.
Oh yeah.
Well, personally, I think we're going to get some kind of ending, but I think we're going to get, well, sort of an ending that ends the manga, but let's see, how do I put this? Because you guys are really hard to debate with. Let's see. I think we're going to get an
What's that supposed to mean, BlueStar?
Okay.
Don't make me laugh
It's really
again.
hard for me to debate against you guys, okay? It's really hard for me to debate against you guys, okay? I suck at debating.
Yes, because we're master debaters.
Let's see. And I
thank
don't
you.
really like debating. I rather enjoy stuff. You know me. Let's see. Okay, where am I? Apparently, I believe she's kind of saying the ending will be like the over from 2011. Let's see. Apparently, we will probably get an ending, but it'll be sort of closing, but I think also sort of opening at the same time. I think it's going to be a 50-50. But I think in order to see like Naruto become Hokage and all that stuff, I think we're going to see the movies.
Honestly, when it comes to me, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
I'm still a bit on the line with this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just read the what she said.
Well, I understand what she's saying, but I'm still like I'm on the line with this one because it's like because we know Kishimoto says, you know, I'm gonna end the manga conclusively.
Yeah.
You know, he says this.
He can't really, but he seems to can't do that anymore with the manga. I mean, he's going 15 years. Who knows what's happening with him? Because, you know, I mean, face it, shonen mangas are worked to the bone. They hardly get sleep. They have to release chapters out every week. Well, at least the ones with shonen battle mangas. I mean, face it. I mean, in US, we only have like one comic issue of a series come out once every month, sort of like that. So he might not be able to draw or write as best as he can as he used to. That might be explaining why the pacing. So he's probably doing the next best thing. I mean, it's kind of similar like with what happened with the Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It got cancelled by Disney due to the being bought by Lucasfilm, which is one of the reasons I'm so pissed off. One of the reasons I'm pissed off at them. But there are still stories left to tell, and they've been told in different formats. Like, the Darth Maul storyline ended in the comic, and it's this new novel coming out that involves Asajj Ventress.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's...
Well, we better hope that Kishi does a satisfying ending for the manga that
Dude,
allows people to say, yeah, I could see how you could end it there and be happy with it and then jump to... Because it'd be ridiculous to...
make the ending like a promotion to the movies.
James, given how the fandom's like, do you think they are ever going to be satisfied with this ending?
No.
Never going to be satisfied with this ending.
However, this is what I predict.
That's no excuse to not have an ending, though.
Yeah.
That's not really an excuse to like just say that I'm just gonna leave everything open ended at the end of the manga and then solve all the problems in the movie, which sometimes it's sounding like, or it's a path Kishi could go into. So. What like the only thing that's going to be solved in the manga is that Sasuke becomes good again, and then that's it. No other questions are answered.
I'm not implying that. I'm not implying that. I'm not implying that. From what's, I believe that we're going to get some NaruSaku moment that will confirm that they're probably going to be a couple of some sorts, and I'm not entirely sure. We're probably going to get a conclusion of this fight at least, although we're not going to see if Sasuke's going to turn good or not. We're going to find out. But I'm just saying that we're going to get some closure, but to get full closure, we're going to have to go to the movies.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say this right now. If this pairing drama still continues into the movie, it's going to spell doomsday for it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there right now. So Kishi better have something change before the end of the manga, and even if you have to resolve it, even if NaruSaku has to become canon, not in the manga but on the movie, that's fine. But you have to change something by the end of it, even if it's just Sakura getting over Sasuke indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you have to change something at this point. Otherwise, it's going to feel like those 600 and 700 chapters are going to be nothing. It's worthless.
I think he's going to do that. I didn't say he's going to leave that to the movies. I think he's going to at least...
I know you're not saying that, but I'm saying that's one thing that could be the possibility of what's Kishi's doing.
Yeah.
This would be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I want to predict. The fight happens, and it's intersped with cuts between the actual fight itself and whatever Sakura and Kakashi may or may not be doing. The fight ends, we get a scene lifted from the OVA, then it's an epilogue chapter with no ambiguity. It starts off with Naruto becoming Hokage, so on and so forth.
I don't think Naruto's going to be Hokage at the end of this manga. I just don't. I know people want to see him become Hokage, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not with the number of pages that's being released right now. We're still getting average released pages, which I'm disappointed at.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Because I know what everyone's thinking.
What?
That's the fear everyone has right now.
What?
Because we're so sick of the pairing drama now.
Mm-hmm.
It's too long. It's too. It's the parent. Let's face it, the parent drama has been drawn out too much. It's drawn out grossly over exaggerated. And even though Kishimoto is not the best of romance writers, because obviously he isn't, there are limits to how much you could push something.
Oh yeah.
Before people just get fed up and tired with it.
You mean like when Sanji goes perverted over a female? Sorry.
I mean more like unanswered, useless drama. Because how it should have ended. Did a video about the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
And in it, they had the scene where Elizabeth Swann, the typical, she kisses Jack and she pushes him and handcuffs him, and
that's Dead Man's Chest or something like that.
Yeah, that's Dead Man's Chest. But anyway, so that occurs, and then you have Orlando Bloom's character come out. And he starts throwing this rant around, like, what the hell's going on? Like, what is this crap? This makes no sense. And then he says one of the most pinnacle lines I've ever heard that I think a lot of people have been saying about this point. He says, it's as if someone just completely rewrote your characteristics all for the sake of pointless drama, regardless of everything you said and did leading up to this point.
I thought that bit was just to make, get Jack just to get handcuffed so that he would be, eaten by a kraken, and then it
is, but a lot of people saw that as useless drama. It was pointless because you end up just going back to the original way anyway. So they didn't think it was well written drama into the movies, and that's the joke of it. But I'm saying this is how some people are seeing this as it is now. They're finding that it's just drawn out, pointless drama. That the characteristics are being drawn weird, and it is true. I mean, I feel this sometimes. It's especially true when Sasuke's on the scene because when Sasuke isn't there, you have Naruto and Sakura being these confident, nothing's gonna stop them kind of thing. Very rarely do you see them like show a sign of weakness. During those times, and if they do, it's the kind of weakness that's warranted because it's like they're taking on too much. But here, every time Sasuke comes in the scene, both Naruto and Sakura have the same problem. They just break down instantaneously. And they resort to doing things that is just downright ridiculous. Sakura starts begging, Naruto starts worrying about Sasuke more than anything else. I mean, there's arguments that you can make here and there, but I'm just saying from a generalized point of view. It was always something that bothered me too about this manga was this bromance and this, this love drama. It's in real life, I know this is a story, okay, but in real life, this would have been over with long before it. Sakura may have still cared about Sasuke, but she would have been over the whole crush thing, the love thing, a lot sooner. Same with Naruto. He may not have considered, he would still consider Sasuke a brother or a friend, but he never like hold him in such high prestige as he still does now. Yeah. But since this is a story, and it isn't like real life, of course, we had to emphasize all this stuff. That being said, however, like I said, there's a limit to how much you could stretch the belief. The suspension of belief. There's a limit to it. You push it too far, and then you lose the entire concept of the story.
You mean like I did when Usopp ran away again in chapter 740, and when Sanji kept being a pervert and all that in One Piece? I got tired of the same jokes happening over and over again.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And they're not even tasteful jokes. They're not even like clever or tasteful jokes that turned into mishaps. They're just there to break it up. This is just throwing comedy into a serious situation. It feels so awkward. It doesn't feel smooth, and this is what it's starting to feel like with this pairing drama now.
I agree.
Yep.
I also know a guy who feels like it's kind of tragic backstories are happening by force in One Piece. Well, particularly with Law, not Doflamingo. If in the current in One Piece, flashbacks are happening. Law's and Doflamingo's past. Apparently, at first it kind of showed Law's bit where like his entire town and family got slaughtered, but from what the guy said, it was all rushed. It all happened too fast. It just did not. It just seemed quick. Just nothing to sympathize with. Well, the fan base, of course, says so well written. Oh my God, poor Law, like that. It was like this was forced. It kind of like it was not panned out. I mean, with like the Straw Hats, we got to know the people they cared about, and then they died. But with Law's family, that did not happen like that. Am I not making sense?
Yeah, you're fine. It's the Batman syndrome.
Yep.
How do you make something more interesting? Put in some angst in there. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work.
You mean like how in Spider-Man they always kill a loved one he has every now and again?
My parents were killed by a gun, so I became a superhero to stop crime like this from ever happening again. That's fine for Batman, but when every superhero starts to do that, Batman doesn't look unique anymore.
I mean, personally, the only two superheroes that actually should have that kind of story would probably be like Batman, who had his parents murdered before his eyes, and Spider-Man, when Peter Parker sort of let this burglar get away, and he murdered his uncle, and then he realized he could have stopped it if he just, if he just stopped the burglar, and none of this would have happened. And as opposed to a stretch, that whole Gwen Stacy death with the goblin.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm going to explain this one because it actually is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to explain this one. In the comic book of the Gwen Stacy's death,
Mhm.
Spider-Man was a cocky motherfucker. And when I say cocky, he means like, oh, I could do everything. I could save anybody. I could do anything.
Yep.
Because even he grabs Gwen Stacy by the thing, he pulls her back up, and he's congratulating himself. Man, thank you, Spider Powers. I could do anything. Oh man, there's nothing I can't do. And then he picks up, yeah, Stacy, how do you like your White Knight now? That now he came in and swooped and saved you, Stacy. And then she found out he's dead, and it broke him down. And that's the kind of angst that's really good when you have a character act one way and then something hits them. It's that breaking of the armor where they think they're invincible, and then it just breaks their armor when something bad happens that they could not control, or even if it was their fault, And then they try to they may go through some rough patches, but they try to better themselves from now on. That's the right way to do it. The wrong way to do it is constantly doing it all the time, where nothing good ever happens to a person, where it's always bad. He can't save anybody. It's always angst. He's always down on himself. It's annoying. It's terrible. You got to give this character something to strive for, the hope for.
This kind of reminds me, well, this is a minor extent, but Ultimate Spider-Man, right? Well, at least the comics, right? Not the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A similar thing happened when Gwen Stacy from that universe died. Well, except she was killed by Carnage. In fact, she was kind of mummified by the Carnage of that universe. Just when it happened, Peter's life was going around. Like, J. Jonah Jameson was being more honest with the Spider-Man stories, and he was like, oh yeah, this is Spider-Man Christmas Day. And then he got a call from Aunt May finding out that Gwen died, and then he had all this angst and all that. So in fact, he was even angry at Carnage because he gave permission to use his DNA to create Carnage, but there was kind of an accident, but all that sort of stuff. That's also a similar way, but then later Gwen Stacy was cloned, but hey. That's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You always get
Trigun did an interesting story with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody seen the movie The Badlands Rumble?
No, I haven't, but go ahead and spoil it anyway, because I'm never going to...
Should I spoil it? Okay. In the story starts out in the past, where Vash meets this one guy who's robbing a bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Vash could have killed as usual, Vash could have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't, because that's the kind of guy he is. He doesn't kill him. Now, ever since then, this guy was causing more problems, and he meets up with this woman some, 15 years later, 18 years later, something like that. I think you know where you're going with this one.
Okay, yeah.
But, this woman, starts yelling at Vash the Stampede, saying, he killed my mother, he killed my mother, he's the scum of the universe, why'd you let him live, you could have ended him there, and you could have saved so many, you could have saved so many things, this could have all been prevented, but Vash looks at her and basically it comes down to, I'm paraphrasing of course, but it basically comes down to Vash looks at her and says, but if I would have stopped him then, you never would have been born.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those kind of things where you have to go like where every decision has a major consequence, and that's the kind of storytelling that really gets to people. Where it's like, yeah, he could have stopped the robber then and saved Peter Parker and saved Ben Parker or something like that, but then Spider-Man wouldn't be the person he is today, and he wouldn't be the hero that he is today. You know. So it's an ebb and flow of kind of things, where you know, you have these characters go through these, like, even Naruto, it's like,
You mean if I didn't die, you'd never have understood the meaning of pain and hatred and how to try and understand
if
others.
Neji didn't die, he never would have understood what it means.
Right.
To sacrifice your life for comrades.
Yeah, what it means to sacrifice someone and not be held up for it. That was the whole reason behind Neji's death. That to mean that he wasn't the only one in this world that has a choice. Because that's what Naruto always was. Oh, it's my responsibility. It's my burden. It's my this. It's my that. It's all my... You know, I have to do everything. And then Neji, here comes Neji and says, it's not your choice. Not everything is going to be your choice. Everybody has a choice to do with their life as they want to. And me, I chose to sacrifice my life for yours.
No, a similar thing happened in Percy Jackson's, well, the Heroes of the Percy Jackson, Rick Riordan's final book of the Heroes of Olympus storyline. It's have you read Heroes of Olympus or Percy Jackson?
I read it.
Yeah.
Well, the final book has come out, The Blood of Olympus, and I'm not going to spoil it because if anyone's a fan here or if anyone's going to read the book, hasn't read the book yet, I read it in 2 days. But the final scene that involves involves all like the 7 heroes. There are certain demigods that need to do something, and there's this one demigod who I think we all know cannot allow his friends to put themselves in danger, and he wants to do everything, but this is where he's told by other demigods he needs to stand down, he needs to let these people do what they need, even if they're going to die. Something like that.
This is their choice.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is kind of a concept that was kind of lost on Naruto for a while. He always made it seem it was on his shoulders, but it wasn't. It took Neji's death for him to finally realize that concept.
I know people always hate Neji's. People always complain about Neji's death because it had no meaning, because Neji didn't do anything for like part 2. Well, he did do a few things, it's just not expanded. That's just the one problem with the 11. They had moments, but they wasn't expanded. They were short. Anyway, but this is what Neji's death did for Naruto, and this is why I like it.
Yeah, and it could have been a lot worse. I mean, Neji was supposed to die early in part 1.
Yeah, that I remember. That was one of the initial plans that he had, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, his editor told him not to.
Due to the fans not wanting them to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you rather have him die in part 1 and play little or no significance, or would you rather him die here and actually play an important role to Naruto's life? I'd rather choose here.
Yeah. I would have
technically, see, people are like, well, about Neji's death, I'm like, well, here's the thing. Naruto, up until that point, like, people died, but he was never there to witness it. That's the other thing.
I mean, the only time that someone died in front of him was Chio, but he didn't realize she died. But that was it. That was it, pretty much. You know, Lady Chio.
Yeah.
Pretty much the one death that probably it's pretty much the one death I think, besides that Sakura bond that Sakura got close to died.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the closest she had to experience the pain of her comrade's death. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe that might happen in the movies.
And this is exactly why I wanted Sasuke to die, because I want Naruto to learn another lesson that he hasn't learned.
Oh yeah.
As I explained.
Right.
But anyway.
I mean, you know, at the same time, you kind of get this notion again from Naruto too, like when he's trying to save Obito's life, and Obito's like, "No, you can't.
You can't fix everything."
No.
Anyway, so um. Okay, so we actually got a spoiler plot. A spoiler for the movie, what the plot is about. Should we reveal this one?
Sure.
Should we talk about it?
Sure.
Okay, so apparently, according to the translation that was on the page that came with the chapter, the story is about the moon falling and colliding with Earth, becoming a meteorite.
Yeah.
Cue Armageddon. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, babe. And I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh, I remember this plot line. Chat was celebrating it because she guessed what it was and who was coming and all that stuff. So are you continuing on, or am I just interrupting?
And here comes Sasuke. You know I could just teleport the thing away, right?
Apparently, this might indicate that we might see Kaguya return again, which I'm cool with because all we saw really was a fight. I mean, it did feel like there was more to tell from her, but I'm cool. But I know.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, is this going to be like a Final Fantasy VII ending?
Huh?
That's a good question.
The Final Fantasy VII ending.
Yeah.
What? That and what? Did people hate that ending, or they okay with it? Because I think that's the most controversial game out of Final Fantasy.
Why don't you
I don't think they hated it because obviously the game is really popular, and people see it as one of the best Final Fantasy games of all time, if not the best.
Why don't you explain it for the folks at home? James?
Okay, so at the end of Final Fantasy VII, again spoilers, but then again this game is like 20 years old now, so you know. At the end, Sephiroth uses the materia of Meteor to bring a giant meteor come crashing down the Earth, destroying it. That's basically what the whole plot was. Cloud couldn't do anything. Nobody could do anything. It's basically is something out of their control. However, explained earlier in the game, it was explained that Aerith actually had a materia that was useless unless it was against the meteor materia. It basically was the counter to the meteor. And what happened was Aerith, after she died, used the life force or the life essence, the life stream, as it's called, to not only stop the meteor but destroy it, saving the planet.
Uh-huh.
And the only clue that we have what happens at the end of that story is the game fast forwards to many years into the future where the original city that everything took place is overgrown.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then we get Advent Children, but nobody wants to talk about that one.
You mean like which pairings actually happened in the storyline or something?
Well, it's confirmed that Cloud did love Aerith, but Aerith did not really love Cloud, which is a bummer. But in the Japanese version of Final Fantasy VII, Cloud and Tifa actually did have sex.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In a barn, no doubt.
Yeah.
Why did they show it, or did they only do? Oh, did they?
Well,
it's implied.
No, heavily implied. Basically, it's just a building where you see Tifa come out and she straightens her dress and then she blushes and then she runs and then Cloud comes out like, whoa.
I wouldn't actually mind if that happens with NaruSaku, to be honest. I don't know. I just ruined the moment, didn't I?
So how are we gonna celebrate my birthday, Sakura? Come over to my place tonight and find out. Yeah!
That's
You
brilliant.
just hear the typical Japanese, oh yeah! Dang!
No, there's a lot that could happen when it comes to at least the movie. But I mean, as far as the plot goes, it's not much. But someone was telling me that it could be like maybe the Infinite Tsukiyomi put some strain on the moon. Maybe that's why it's crashing down. I'm like, let's just wait until we get more. Because I mean, supposedly there's a trailer coming out next week That's what I've been hearing.
We need a soundtrack. Bring thaw Frank Sinatra out and bring him back here. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars.
If anyone's curious, I think For Life appeared about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, but we're so late in this one, so.
Like, I feel guilty.
It's pointless. It's pointless having him on now.
I kind of feel guilty of not including For Life into this, but
Oh, well, I'll bring it in another one.
Why do you feel guilty?
He signed up for
hosting.
4 of them. He signed up for 4 podcasts. What is he complaining about?
Oh, yeah.
He's such an egotist.
I don't know, I just think he wants to be like you, James, and appear in all the podcasts.
He's appearing on the last one. That's the best gift I could give him.
So am I, everyone, just to let you know.
Well, you know what? Everyone's appearing on the last one.
Note here, BlueStar Saber wants to start an hour early. Be there or be square.
Seems like you didn't get the message. Because, if I don't, I get cranky because of how late it is, and,
Yeah.
By
the way, we had an Infinite Tsukiyomi here in the real world. On the 8th of October, we had a blood moon.
Yep.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh. Good. I
You didn't look outside?
No. I don't know. I don't really get, and I don't really get much.
It's when the moon and the sun were in the right amount of positions that when the sun is reflecting off the moon, it creates this, like, red effect on it.
Yeah.
So it looks like a blood moon.
I missed it. Anyway, who knows? But I have a feeling that this moon plot.
This is my fantasy? I got chipped.
But anyway, from what it seems, this moon has probably something to do with Kaguya. Who knows? Maybe it's the price that they're paying for defeating her. Who knows? Maybe she still has some connection to the main moon.
Maybe they may accidentally made 2 moons, and one moon is sending the other one down to the planet.
Well, I mean, that did actually happen. Now that I think about it, because didn't Chibaku Tensei happen, and then Black Zetsu was there? Oh God, no! I'm not gonna think about that.
What? Did you not like the ending of that fight?
No, I did. I was just thinking, like, if that moon just came crashing down, then that means the Black Zetsu's on the loose again. That's what I just remembered.
Right, I take it you're okay with Kaguya, but you don't like Black Zetsu.
He's okay. I'm just realizing that we're gonna have to deal with 2 threats then. Again.
But we still have to deal with. There's still Spiral Zetsu missing. I'm still wondering what happened to him.
Yamato's okay.
I have a bad feeling this movie's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's going to close everything up. I think it's going to be stuck. Well, I think it's more of an opening. I mean,
the biggest thing I've been noticing people make is like, is it going to be as good as Road to Ninja? And I'm just saying, let's just wait and see what happens. Even Road to Ninja was pretty skeptical.
Well, not people. Bronies complained about Equestria Girls, and they came out, and it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
True, there were still people who were complaining, but most of them who did complain at first changed their minds after they saw the movie.
Hey, everybody, this is socially acceptable. Hey, hey, singing a song in the middle of the lunch at the cafeteria, and we all know the lyrics. Totally spontaneously.
Which movie are we talking about? Is it Bronies or something?
Equestria Girls.
Equestria Girls.
Okay.
It's where Twilight. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It's where Twilight goes into a magic mirror into an opposite world where everyone's humanoid.
It's the fan fiction come to life.
And they have YouTube.
And it's also a high school universe.
Like 50 Shades of Grey?
Like High School Musical with My Little Pony.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'm confused about this part, so it's probably best I stop asking questions about it.
Yes. Me and Steve are bronies. We know what we're talking about. Right, Steve? Right, Steve?
Right.
High five.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's so little information to work off of at the moment now, but I just have this bad feeling this movie is not something doesn't seem right.
Like the hype around the movie, or just like in general?
Like, I want everything to be settled conclusively.
Yeah.
That's all I want. But every
Yeah.
single time, it always seems like, oh, well, there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be more. I don't want more. I just want the answers. I want Kishi to grow a pair of balls and actually finish something.
Right.
I believe that the pairings will be resolved by the end of the manga. Well, they're going to be. Well, I think this is the start where the pairings will resolve. From what well, this is probably going to go back to a whole large debate about the pairings thing again. But from what it seems, I think the pairings are going to end about where they are now. Let's see, Sakura will finally move on from Sasuke. But I think the movie will at least end. Let's see who gets with who.
Like, please, Kishi, please, for the love of God. I don't care if you start a new series of a new generation of Naruto or the era where it's their kids and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me. Just before you start more problems, finish the ones you already have set up.
Oh yeah.
Because right now it's too long with them.
Yeah. The only thing I want to see, like, I mean, it's not just the parent. Yeah. Go on, BlueStar. You can go ahead, Doc.
I believe the pairings are at least going to be finished by between the manga's ending and the movie. At least that. With the Sasuke stuff, I'm not sure. But we may have to find out, because Sasuke's purpose in the movie has not yet been shown. Because we know he's alive, but we don't know what currently he's planning.
Well, according to the quotes that everyone keeps bringing up, apparently he's going to look after something. Or someone.
With the tape wrapped around his forehead? Who knows?
Which a lot of people think it's Sakura. A lot of people say it's Kakashi, who's the new Hokage now. Because Kakashi has a line where he says, I'm not going to send my people into a dangerous situation, which implies that he might be Kage's. He might be the Hokage.
Right.
Yeah.
Kakashi the Hokage. I'm actually cool with that. I personally thought Kakashi was going to die, but I'm honestly cool with that.
It'd be the most logical thing.
I'm not.
I mean, well, okay, so far we haven't seen a design from Guy yet. That's one thing I noticed. So, I don't know what that means. Now,
personally, I'm wondering what was the purpose of Naruto keeping Guy alive. I'm still wondering. There's got to be some purpose to it. But I'm just wondering
I know
what.
words before Guy actually dies. Something I've been throwing out, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
I just want to know, is Guy dead or not? I mean, the stuff with 1010 seems to be dropped, which I'm kind of pissed off about.
Right?
Yeah, remember those ninja tools that came in a very big handy?
Yeah, where is that going to go now?
Listen, is she going to have some sort of, like, alliance? Is she going to be sort of, like, benefactor with the Cloud Village and the Leaf Village in the future or something? Is she gonna do something like that? And we know she's appearing in this movie, and who knows? Perhaps she'll have a bigger role than she used to play in the series. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But anyway, whenever I hear fans keep talking about, oh my god, this is gonna happen, this is gonna suck, I just really wish they'd shut up.
Well, let's take a look at things where we are right now. Right now, we're in the fight, and Naruto and Sasuke are about to have a conversation. Let's see what happens next chapter, and then we'll pick it up from there. That's probably what I can say. And as far as the movie goes, regarding the moon falling down, like I said before, it's not much. You could speculate on it, but don't try to push it too far. Which, again, with this fandom, it's already too late to say.
That's sort of a given thing.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to slap him.
You tell them not to push it too far. They're already a mile down the road. So.
Right.
Yep.
It's a sad thing.
Going full speed.
Do you think the only thing that could probably leave them speechless if Kishimoto himself slapped them? I'm just wondering.
No. Because people have gotten so radical to this point that Kishimoto could say anything and they will ignore it.
Oh yeah.
I thought I depicted Sakura as an honest but stubborn girl. Nah, that whole confession was a fake.
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke isn't good or evil, he's pure. Which means that everything he says is the truth, so what he feels is what it is. Nah, he's hiding hidden feelings.
Yeah. I'm honestly It's just as much as you are, James. I mean, I'm getting done with the pairings.
Personally, I don't think you would have gone this pissed off, man, because the fandom was, like, doing its crap. I think you might have been annoyed, but I don't think you would have been as pissed off as you are now.
What?
Personally. Okay, you know you're tired of all the stuff that with Sasuke, with the pairings and all that. But I personally think none of us would be this fed up or pissed off if the fandom didn't overreact every week or so.
Right?
They overreact on everything. I've seen NaruSaku fans overreact on what a Narahina fan says. Give me a break. Okay, like this. What was it? This tweet recently that we got. Which again, we automatically assume it's true, even though we just learned that a few tweets ago were fake. But we just got this tweet recently where the wording was like, it says like, oh, Naruto's scarf is pointing to Sakura, pointing to Hinata, and Hinata's looking another way. What does it all mean? And blah blah blah. And then a lot of people are like, well, maybe you're mistranslating it wrong. Maybe it's just talking about what is there. Like, oh, Naruto's now brandishing a scarf, and here we have a picture of Hinata, but she's looking another way. You know, like the wording in the Japanese is like. It's nowhere insinuating that Narahina or the scarf or anything of that's bullshit with the whole scarf theory is even remotely credible. And if it is, it's either mistranslated or some fan just corrupted it.
Like, fans can't corrupt anything in this manga, so you can't really trust translations.
Yeah.
Anyway, but from what it seems, with Hinata looking away, it might include that she's moved on from Naruto. She's not even interested in him at this point. That might be a possibility, I'm just saying.
You know what? And honestly, though, that's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that's the case. If not, then...
What?
Or it just could be her looking away because she wants to look away.
Naruto. What? Sorry, Steve, sorry, my bad.
Or it could be her looking away because the poster artist thought it would be cool. Or it could be she's looking away because she don't give no fuck.
Yeah. And folks, okay, calm down, take a deep breath, and I want you to listen to me what I'm saying right now. Every single person that's been involved in this movie has kept a tight lip. We know this. We know that they can't say anything blowing any of the plot points, you know, unless it's been specifically designed to do that with advertisements, like this thing with what they have now. Now, why would they blow this idea that Narahina is canon in the movie when they're not allowed to say anything? Doesn't that be a little suspicious? Doesn't that kind of like ring a few bells? It's like
it should.
From what I've seen to think, ever since Phantom Menace, at least as far as Phantom Menace, fans have been making theories, what's going to happen, and when with these spoilers and all that, and when it does happen, and when the movie does finally come out, everything that they've been predicting, everything that they've been said, rumors that have been saying, none of that turned out to be true. And all that stuff. That's what I'm just thinking. As far as Phantom Menace goes, as far as back when Phantom Menace games, I know, that seemed to be like the change around the time of the changing point of movies. I'm not sure, or at least spoilers. I don't know when the internet first came out.
I just think why would you spoil something like that? Why would we so casually spoil something like that unless they're not really spoiling that? You're just taking it the wrong way. You know?
Yeah. It's just too bad that they're Japanese, so we can't really get, like, the clear interviews, because, face it, when you're looking at a movie from another franchise, from another country, from another language other than the one you speak, there's going to be some translation issues.
Yeah, well, we got the thing with the sketches about, you know, the Sakura looks more womanly now, so that Naruto must be, you know, and then it cuts off. So you mean to tell me that when it's NaruSaku related, they can't say anything, but when it's Naruhito related, they can blurt anything out they want? Doesn't that kind of raise a suspicion?
Yeah.
What?
You know, kind of like whenever it came to the identity of the Masked Man, or something like that.
Ugh.
Toby.
Yeah, I know. And
Right,
actually, you know
yeah.
what, though? As much as people hated the idea when it came to that, I was actually one of the few people that kind of backed up Obito. I was like, okay, that's something, but I don't think it's the whole reason as to why he's doing it. And to some extent, it kind of was. Because he did say it was the system of the shinobi that kind of fucked everything up too, but it was mostly Rin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but again, Obito's so bad. It's such a poor excuse because of all this bullshit because he's doing it for one person. But Sasuke's a little bit more understandable. Doesn't he? Isn't he doing all this because of Hitachi's sake? It's the same. It's the same concept,
right?
Personally, when it comes to villains, face it, they're gonna have selfish reasons to be evil.
Well, no, it's not the villains themselves. It's the fan reactions where they're cursing one character out, and then another character is doing the exact same thing, and they're praising him for it.
You mean
Why?
Well, personally,
Because they're hypocrites, that's why.
I can. You know why I hate Obito? Because I could describe him in one word. Oh, it's Rin, Rin, Rin. I'm so sorry, Rin. I love you, Rin. Really?
I think it's also due to. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's also due to popularity.
But let's apply that. Okay, so how many characters have based their whole life around one other person? Sasuke, Itachi. Hinata, Naruto-kun, Naruto-kun. Naruto, Sasuke. So I mean, it's like, don't say it's a sin and then forgive everybody else but the person you don't want to forgive.
And I mean, even Madara too. Like Madara, like before Hashirama showed up, he was praising the hell out of him.
Yeah, and Madara, Hashirama. As soon as Hashirama came to the field, he didn't give a fuck about the Tsukiyomi. You notice that?
Ray did sort of give a thing, but he just wanted to have some excitement.
Brother! Oh, excitement, huh? We all know what that means.
Hashirama was like, dude, chill.
Calm the fuck down.
I'm like, I get that he was your rival and stuff, but seriously.
The Kages, every opponent he fought in the war, was that boring to him or something?
Apparently.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if an obsession is bad, every character has an obsession. You know?
Personally, when people go like, oh my god, I hate redemption, face it, if one character's gonna be... If Naruto's going to redeem one character, he's going to redeem them all. He's going to try and redeem them all. Just face it, that's going to happen.
I actually like Obito's story.
I did too.
Yeah.
Fuck
Me
you
too.
guys. I love it. Fuck the rest of you who don't like it. I love Obito's story. I love his powers. I think he's much more interesting than Sasuke. I think his concepts are much more interesting than Sasuke, even if it's a little bland. And
Personally, the only time I didn't really like Obito's story was when it was the whole long fight. I think it could have been shorter, but besides that, I was okay. And the talking jutsu being longer, but anyway, go back.
And I think he was more badass than Sasuke.
Personally, I think
I did too, actually. Sure. I mean, yeah, the fight was drawn out, but in a way that's supposed, I guess, in a way he's like Naruto's mirror image, because it shows how stubborn Obito is, but yet you know he's gonna get to that point, turning good.
I mean, we can go on for hours about this.
Yeah.
One issue from Morgane 4 that she seemed to really hate with Obito's story is that the fact that Naruto's parents were killed by Obito and he kind of forgave. Well, this is the fact some people hate Obito in general. Is that Obito killed Naruto's parents, but he forgave him and he never addressed the thing that he killed his parents. You know, never addressing it. He never showed any resentment, all that kind of stuff that people expect a person to do when they confront their parents' killer.
Maybe because Naruto was supposed to end the hatred and taking aggression out on Obito because his parents are dead are not going to bring him back, and maybe Naruto finally understood that.
Yep.
Well, besides, if we follow that logic, then we should have gotten a scene with Neji and his aggression against Clown Ninja. Oh, you killed my father. I hate you. And then we get a whole spiel, talk no jutsu, and then Neji forgives him. No, we didn't get that. Why? Because in universe, that's 50 years, 20 years, 10 years ago. Plus Neji already had the talk no jutsu with Naruto, so he was bound to have forgiven them. at that point in time.
Apparently, that was no excuse or something, but hey.
Hey, it's no excuse for Sasuke to forgive Itachi, but he did it anyway.
Well, when it comes to Morgan, I don't think she's forgiving for any of the Uchiha or something like that.
The story is fucked up. We admit it. It is. But there's a concept to it. It's not just fucked up because it is. It's fucked up because the whole entire concept is about letting go, forgiveness, and not giving in to hatred. If Naruto were to be angry at Obito for all the shit that he did for killing his parents like that, or whatever, you defeat the entire purpose of Naruto's existence. He'd be no better than Sasuke at this point in time. And you want Naruto to be better than Sasuke.
I see.
Yeah, it's not agreeable. Okay, yeah, I know it's not a realistic point of view, but then again, nothing is realistic. As I said, if it was a realistic kind of story, Sakura would have gotten over Sasuke a long time ago, and Naruto wouldn't even be bothering with Sasuke at this point. He would have been like, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, anyway, sometimes I question why people expect realism when it comes to a universe with giant demon beasts, with talking animals, and magic ninjutsu with the elements. That does not seem like you're going to get exactly realism in the series. Well, to an extent, of course.
I know.
And then, go on, James.
No, I was gonna make a joke, but never mind.
No, and then there's the argument between him and his brother, which is like, oh, he makes look at old parts, and I'm like, do we?
Or like a girl that looks like from Children of the Corn having an obsession over the main character of a story because she can't live without him, and even like premature ejaculates just by holding his hand. Yeah, in real life, people would have called that creepy.
Yep.
Yep.
But apparently, when it comes to this story, it's cute, lovable, and she's like a puppy.
And I'm just like, your fucking cousin died. Ugh. I don't go on a rant about that.
That's personally the one thing I wish Well, personally, I think Hinata would have. I think the moments with Hinata would have been good, in fact, great, if she didn't keep thinking about Naruto. That's what just destroys those moments. Her thinking of Naruto. I mean, her encouraging Naruto to get up, do not let Neji's sacrifice be in vain. That's good, but just thinking about his big hand is just what ruins the moment.
Oh, and to make this whole conversation worse, well, from my point of view at least, I had this one guy, he told me, well, Sakura did the same thing in 693 when it came to Sasuke. Well, I'm like, here's the difference, though. They were in the middle of a fucking war. By the time Sasuke stuff happened, that was after everyone was defeated, and before Naruto and Sasuke fought. There's a big difference between those two scenes.
And Sakura wanted to stop. And Sakura wanted to stop a fight that she knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was an act of desperation.
Yeah, I did not like some of the wording, but I at least understood the concept.
Yeah, and it's.
Go on.
Hold on.
Go on. I thought too much. I think it's time for you to say a word. Time for everyone else to say a few words.
No, my
Recording software.
Okay, still going. I thought it cut out. So as I was saying, and not only that, I would have a lot more respect for Hinata. Okay, so here's a breakdown with Hinata with me. The problem is with her is that she doesn't have to lose her love for Naruto to be a better character. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is she needs to lose the obsession and attention seeking for Naruto.
Yeah.
That she's so grind into. What is it always? I want to be stronger because I want Naruto to see me. I want this because I want him to acknowledge me. I want the. Yeah, that's attention seeking. That's being clingy, attention seeking. You want everyone to notice you, and you that's
You're
no
not
better.
Earning it. You're not. She's not earning it, pretty much. That's
Yeah.
What she's...
Like Hinata, act natural. You don't let it happen naturally.
I think Itachi needs to have to give Hinata a lecture. Those will not be. Let's see. I think Itachi should have lectured Hinata on the same lecture he kind of gave Naruto. The whole
Hinata, you have the makings to be a great ninja. I'm not denying that. But you know what? This attention seeking is holding you back.
Oh yeah.
It's extremely holding you back.
Yeah.
This obsession is holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
This is why your sister is better than you.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to hear, but you got the Naruhina fans. Oh, she's not like that at all. You're looking at, you just hate Hinata. No. I don't blindly hate Hinata. In fact, I think she's very flawed.
Remember, people, this guy used to be a Naruhina fan, so he saw something.
Yeah.
You used to be a Naruhina fan?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know what? I'll be honest. I actually used to be a fan of Hinata. Not Naruhina the parent, just Hinata in general. But after that, I was like...
I still am a fan of Hinata, but, I just have some major problems with her.
That's the same with me. I used to be a Naruhina fan. In fact, I kind of got fanboying about the hand-holding, but it's not until I went to the fandom, seen what it was, looked at different perspectives, that I realized that this was wrong. The fandom's just awful and all that. Well, that should have...
Yeah, well, I see all this fan art. This great fan art about Hinata and she's being all badass. Yeah, that's great and all. It's not happening in the manga.
Nope.
It never happens. All that stuff, all the stuff you see in the anime, never happens in the manga. All that good stuff that you see Hinata doing. I mean, if the games and the anime didn't give Hinata those scenes, she would have nothing. She's still the same, and that was the problem with it. Yeah, it was cute, and everything in part one.
Okay, to a small extent, but as large as they made it, it just kind of.
Yeah, but the fact that she hasn't changed at all throughout the entire story, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
She's become more outspoken in some places, but
I'm hoping whatever. Wait, did you just cut off line, James, or something?
No, I'm done.
I'm just hoping when it comes to the movies, I hope this. What if we're gonna get like movie series focusing on like this new era project? Who knows? Maybe even have some focus on the other K11s. Personally, I'm kind of wishing we have a movie that focused on Hinata and the Hyuga storyline, because I want to see this movie do everything the manga should have. It do this character justice.
That's called filler.
Yeah, not the. Yeah, no. The movies that are going to be canon, the new opening era project thing. Wait. Okay, you've just made me lose thought. Thanks a lot, Steve.
I mean, can Hinata have a chance to redeem herself? She can, but again, I don't know.
I think we already have. I think we already have a movie or a TV series that's basically what Naruhina is. I think we call it Future Diaries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
That is actually, now that you actually mentioned it, it's actually kind of true.
Didn't that sort of happen with Frozen? And sort of not happen, but did happen?
Oh, come on, man. Let it go.
That one princess fell in love with that Hans guy, and then turned out he was a jerk. But she ended up with this other guy that she only at least know for about a day.
Oh, I never watched the movie.
Oh.
I just saw how it should have ended. Oh, you just need one important thing in your lives. Oh, to lock our daughter away in a tower and leave her there for... No, love. Family... Here, let me show you. And then they...
Yeah.
And then they had Wolverine singing.
He's a good singer. Hugh Jackman.
No doubt.
Well, we kind of going on here. We're not making much sense. So, anything anybody want to talk about? Like anything new they found or want to bring up?
Nope.
Not really. Well, I have something to bring up, but I think I want to do this off podcast.
You want to do it off podcast?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I think it's just best, but I'm not. I think it's probably for the best because I think I've been mentioning too many people on. I've been mentioning too many people on this podcast already. I'm not sure they're going to appreciate me mentioning them. But hey.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right,
I
fine.
don't care. I stopped giving a crap. I talk bad about Darkers all the time. It's not like he listens.
It's all up to you, BlueStar.
Let's see. Anyway,
What's he gonna do? Send you an angry letter with hard punctuations?
even though I did say I kind of want at least one movie to focus on Hinata and the Hyugas to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if this new opening era project will allow us to have multiple movies, which character outside of Team 7 would you like them to have like a major focus on in the story?
Rock Lee.
You know,
I was initially gonna say Sai, but we kind of got him a little bit wrapped up after the whole confrontation with his brother, so I wouldn't say him.
I'd like to see more Sai as well, to be honest. But hey,
What's another one?
because that was one disappointment with Sai.
Unless we get like a little aftermath to Road to Ninja, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Oh man, I just had a funny thought in my head.
Okay, what?
How about both Sai and Ino?
I
ah,
can actually see that.
So I read in the book something about a G spot. Well, here, come with me, Sai, and let me show you.
okay.
Actually, I don't know if you guys saw, but some time ago there was this fan art that was made, and it was like Eno like posing for Sai when he was actually just drawing the trash can. It was amusing. Like she thought that Sai was drawing her, but it was actually that he was just drawing a trash can.
Well, actually,
Sounds like something you do.
Okay, I do have this one thing that I'm gonna say from this post that I found, but anyway, it's pretty much it also leads to this question. That despite the fact the manga has been going for nearly 15 years, the readers were given only a 5-week warning before its ending. I find it extremely disrespectful to the loyal and devoted readers of this manga. Just a 5-week notice. Incredibly rude. The thought of that disrespect makes my blood boil. Did you think they were being disrespectful when they did that sort of announcement?
Get the fuck over it.
Right?
Get the fuck over it. There are a couple of times where people like, what was it? There was the one manga that ended recently, and they got 1 week's notice. They were just saying like next week was the ending. That was it. That's all they got.
You
So,
mean
like,
History's Mightiest Disciple Kenshi or something? Was that the manga you were
Something
thinking?
like that.
Yeah, I think that was the
I
one.
mentioned it in the podcast previously. Well, one of the
Oh, yeah.
previous ones in the
That's
last couple of weeks. But, because because look, even 4Life was like, they did? It ended? Yeah. Because I just found that, because at the time, I just found that out like 1 week ago. And that's all they had was one notice 1 week ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, be lucky that we got this much of a thing.
Yeah.
And this is better than the rumors of, oh, it's going to end on October 7th.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would have been too fucking abrupt. But
I mean, I understand what people are coming from, because they're mad because they don't think it's enough time to solve everything. I get that. But, from what we're reading, from what we're seeing, from the rumors that we've been hearing, we could have these extra long chapters. Now, everyone knows that an average chapter is about 17 pages.
Mhm.
An
Yeah.
average.
70 to 20.
Yeah, we could have chapters that are 30 pages.
Mm-hmm.
That we know that the last
Or
one might be
40.
30 pages or 40. We know that from one of Kishimoto's assistants on the they said that like the last chapter is going to be like 39 pages long, something
Yeah.
like that.
Uh-huh.
So we could get like the last 3 chapters be like 30 to 50 pages long. I mean, it could fill it. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'll be fine with that.
Heck, Fairy Tail even got a bunch of 30 pages in their story arcs and all that
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible to get that many pages. It's not.
yeah, it's a stretch, but it's doable. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, the first 3 chapters were over 50 pages each, so
I know, right?
he's capable of telling that big of a story.
Yeah.
In such a short amount of time.
This is one thing, but there's one thing she mentioned about disrespectful respect for the fan base. But at this point, do you actually believe that fan bases should expect respect from their authors, given the fact that they do not they only really respect them when it suits them? Something like that. Am I making sense with this question?
Can I answer this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
It's an ebb and flow.
Uh-huh.
The author is telling a story, and
Mhm.
as a writer, and I know because I took writing classes, you have to respect the audience, the demographic that you're talking to.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to respect
Right.
them. However, the readers also have to respect the writer in what they want to do. If he doesn't do what you want him to do, that's you not respecting him because he wants to tell the story that he wants to tell. Now, you can criticize him. Don't get me wrong. You could say, well, I think that could have been written better. That's fine, you know. But don't sit here and say, like, oh, he's disrespecting me, when all he's trying to do is tell the story that he wants to tell, and you're just not getting what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, if writers pander to the fan base, then it'd be an entirely new mess altogether.
Yeah, Bungie said it best about this one. Bungie, a game company that made Halo, they
Yeah.
said it best. If we listened to everything that the fan base wanted and just based our games around that, you guys would not be happy. You would not get a balanced game. So yeah, we take fan consideration and stuff like that, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But if we listen to everything, you wouldn't get the game that you really want.
Yeah. And, that's kind of something similar to what Brian and Michael said, the guys that made Avatar and Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Usually what they find is, they'll look for a story, and they also look for an ending. It's not like something that's, ongoing for, forever. It's like, if you have an ending, then they'll do it. But if there's no ending, then, from what I heard, they just leave the room. That's just what I've heard.
Yeah, look at One Piece, where they're like, oh, we think Chopper's birthday should be on December 25th. Okay, and then it officially became that because of a fan suggestion. That was it.
Yeah.
There are some things you could play around with in the story, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect the story at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an ebb and flow. It's kind of a give and take relationship. We have to give if we expect respect, we have to give a little respect. So.
And honestly, this fandom has not been giving that much respect, has it?
In the past 2 years, no.
No.
This fan has just been too overcritical, too overthing. They refuse to accept anything, if it's not what they wanted, they refuse to accept it, which is not respecting the writer himself.
It kind of reminds me of Star Wars fandom, what it's become over the last 15 years.
Them fighting words, buddy. No, I'm just kidding.
The last 15 years, they personally want George to give them I'm not entirely sure if you want the original re-releases of the original trilogy with the special editions, but he said no, and then as time goes on, they keep doing more nastier attacks on him. Some even accuse him of raping their childhood. Some say he's the Antichrist. Some say he's worse than Hitler. Well, I'm not saying this is all Star Wars fans, but that's how extreme it gets.
This is all Narahina fans, though.
yeah. Narahina extreme, pretty much. But
yeah.
But anyway. And then I never actually say this to them, but I say, if you're going to call someone like that and you insult them like that, do you really think they're going to give you what you want? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, if someone just tells you guys you guys suck, blah, 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 you should do this, would you actually do it? Well,
look at the podcast here. A lot of people like Steve better than me. They think he's a better host than I am. Do we care? Not really.
No.
We just do what we have to do, and I let Steve take over when I don't want to do it or I can't do it. So it's.
Mm-hmm. And you're kind of similar to that one guy that doesn't like me on the podcast for some reason.
I can't please everybody I can't please everybody. I can't please everybody all the time. So
if you could, it'd be a miracle.
Yeah, if I could,
obviously.
If I could, I'd be a millionaire.
Anyway,
Now
just got one podcast, one YouTuber now. While you probably do not like me for the next weeks until the finale, well, actually, there's 2 finale podcasts. You will not be seeing me, so you can be happy. Okay?
Oh, that's depressing. I want to give him another hug. And a cookie.
And some milk.
Yep.
And some milk.
I'm on a gluten dairy-free diet. I'm not allowed milk.
Oh.
Oh, that sucks.
We'll give him some pasteurized milk or whatever. That fake
Soy
milk stuff.
Orange?
Soy milk.
I don't know.
We'll give him yo soy milk. Anyway, so is that it?
I believe that's all I have to say.
Okie dokie.
Okay. I'm BlueStar saving, even though I kind of came into this late, I'm signing off. Sorry.
And
I'm G7, signing off.
And I'm LKNMJH, also known as Steve.
And I'm James S. Cassidy, and me and Steve are gonna do this ritual again, and you better get a good chicken this time, okay?
All right.
I have to work with good materials here, otherwise it's not gonna work.
Don't worry, I'll make sure he gets a better chicken this time.
Quit complaining, Mom. I'll get you a chicken.
Hey, if you want me to be a mother, I don't mind giving you a spanking. It's tough love, son.
Bring it on.
Until next time.
Till next time, we may bring Margarita back to life.
I think he's trying to get one spot in this podcast.
I know, I'm trying. I've received the messages from beyond the grave saying, I want to be back. I want to come on. And I'm trying, but your body is not reacting.
I think he's trying to get a day off so he can do it.
Thanks for ruining the joke.
I'm sorry. It's just who I am.
And who you are sucks.
You don't have to remind me.
And on that note, see ya!